Welcome back everybody to Next Level Health. Basically this has been already a 2-week journey for us, 1 week for you guys. We just kind of wanted to give you guys the update and break everything down of how we are going about this challenge exactly when it comes to workout, eating, cardio. The boys and I, we're on different journeys per se. We're starting at different levels. Eating wise, workout wise, we try to see each other the most part pretty often. I would say maybe I train more often with Pedro than Steven, but we usually get at least 1 day a week together to bring some good content for you guys. Basically we just wanted to give you a kind of a starting point where we started and where we are currently right now. I'll go first if anything. Basically right now where I'm at, I weighed myself this morning, I'm about 160 pounds. I started about 163, 164 pounds. That was about 2 weeks ago at 10% body fat. I've been in a slight deficit, and for people that don't know what that means, it's just under my maintenance calories, so I'm in the fat burning mode, I guess you can put it. And relatively been dropping relatively slow. 2 to 3 pounds in 2 weeks is not bad. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just about right where I want it to be. And for this upcoming, maybe these upcoming 2 weeks, I'll be going up in a mini bulk. Basically I'll be going a little higher than my maintenance just so I can kind of bounce back. I'm not really trying to drop 15 pounds, 10 pounds of weight. I'm trying to relatively keep about the same, getting leaner during the process, and holding on to as much muscle as possible. That's basically how I'm going about this whole cut for the next 12 weeks. So you'll see me throughout the series tell you guys when I'm dropping calories, when I'm upping my calories, and I'll go ahead and go in depth each week on how my eating changes, calorie wise, macro wise, and how my plates look. Steven, where are you?
Well, right now, this morning I weighed in at 173.8. Throughout the week, I weigh myself every single day to get a weekly average. So every single morning I use the bathroom, then weigh myself, and then that's Monday through Monday. And then on Sundays I, get all the weights, add them up, and then divide it by 7. That's my average. So my average for this week has been 173. I started off at 175. For these past 2 weeks, I've dropped a pound a week. That's pretty decent. That's pretty good. That's what I want to keep it at. Maybe a pound to a pound and a half. Anything more than that, I'm kind of tapping into muscle, and you don't want to really go that route.
You're not trying to drop to extreme.
Yeah, I'm not trying to drop to an extreme. Just these next 12 weeks, well, it's left 10 weeks. I want to drop another 10 pounds, so we'll see how that goes. Calorie wise, I'm at about 2,400 calories every single day, and exercise, cardio 3 times a week for half hour after every workout session, and that's about it.
That's not bad. And I would say he's getting the averages and all these things. If you notice mine, the way I described it, I just kind of I weigh myself roughly every week. I don't weigh myself every day. I'm in a position where I don't want to be too obsessed with the scale. Yeah. I wouldn't say Steven's obsessed with the scale, but he's actually the person out of the 3 of us that likes to be more dialed in. Pedro, where are you at, and where did you start, and where you're going?
Yeah, so pretty much I started off with 171 pounds. My goal is definitely to obviously cut during these next this next 90 days.
So you would say a straight cut for the most part?
Yeah, I'm definitely staying in a straight deficit cut for this 90 days. My goal weight is 155. It's 155 pounds. Currently I'm sitting at a 167. So I definitely dropped 3 pounds since we started the challenge, which has been 2 weeks now. So yeah, it's been a good journey. Kind of hard, honestly, because I'm not very used to counting calories and you
can say you're the newer one, and the whole thing.
Yeah, and all that stuff. But definitely, it keeps you accountable if you're really serious about dropping weight and losing that body fat and stuff like that. It keeps you accountable. So right now it's sitting at 1,600 calories a day, which is it's pretty low.
Well, let's explain real quick so people that are out there, like, they're like, holy shit. Kind of explain why you would be different right now. He's sitting about 2,400, you would say. Why are you relatively much lower? What do you do during the week? What's your lifestyle like, work? So that way I can kind of understand why it's so low.
Yeah. So I have an office desk job. So I work for a bank. So most of my 8 hours a day
spent inside
are spent on a desk. Are spent on a desk on the phone and in front of a computer. So what he consumes on a daily basis, it's he burns a lot more than I do. So I can't be consuming the same things he does or the same calories he does, because I would be
you'd be in a surplus.
I think I would be rolling down a little hill.
You're learning too, because I think that Pedro's like basically being new to the whole tracking thing. This is what do we recommend for anybody trying to get started with dieting, I say in quotations, I don't like to put that word, but it's just being more aware. I think Pedro is becoming much more aware. When we discuss during the week how his journey is going along, if he has a question about, like when he's going out, how do I balance this meal into my overall calories for the day, and it's basically not so we become so like anal and miserable doing this, but it's just simply to create that awareness, so we know exactly, take the guessing out of the game. And I think that's where you were always eating relatively well, but until you started tracking a couple weeks back, you weren't really aware of, and you were kind of surprising yourself. Yeah, damn, I'm actually lower, higher.
Exactly. It was either like I was eating like a lot of rice, or a lot of this, a lot of that, less protein, higher carbs, things like that. So it definitely makes a difference. And once you got the main difference I felt is once I started tracking and consuming what I was supposed to be consuming, you just feel better. Like you feel more alert.
You're feeding the body what it needs.
I feel more alert. I feel more energized. Like 3 to 4 days in, you automatically feel like leaner, tighter. So it's awesome. And perfect example of lifestyle. Like we had a friend's birthday dinner yesterday. Just because it wasn't in our plans doesn't mean that we're not gonna go. We still had calories left. But what did we do? Instead of me, for example, since we both have different plans, instead of eating the full cup of rice that they gave us, just ate half of it, which still was in there.
Or if you have like an event going on later on that night or something like that, you
might eat less maybe earlier.
Yeah, eat less earlier in the day and make room for all that food at night. It's all about balance and really being aware.
And would you really at the beginning you wouldn't really know that unless you were aware of how many calories
exactly. In the beginning, like I said, it's gonna be like, it's gonna feel like it's time consuming and everything, but once you get the roll of it, once you get the hang of it, it's gonna become second nature, and you're gonna know that that rice that I see right there is roughly like 40 grams of carbs, or so on, and you'll get the hang of it. It'll be easier and easier.
Let's break down what we've been doing for workouts. How have we been setting up? I know roughly we try to stay similar schedule so we can see each other, but I know due to life, we're up and about. Sometimes we might be working earlier and later than others.
Yeah.
So basically what we've been relatively doing, I can speak for, we've been training relatively 3 to 5 times a week, being 3 hard solid workouts, being our full body workouts, and then maybe 2 days in between just moving around. I know I do a lot more stretching and movement around. What have you been doing? Because I haven't seen you throughout the week as much as Pedro.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I have like a good 3-4 solid foundational days where my hard workouts, and then the in-between days, I usually go in, do a couple of resistance work, band work, just to get a slight pump in the muscles, and that's about it. I go to the gym every other day, so it's either Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so on and so forth. What about you, John?
Basically what I've been doing, like similar to Steven, we've been doing, me and Pedro relatively train together the most frequent. Full body style routines, meaning we hit relatively every muscle 3 times a week. Now, many of you might be like, okay, how do you break that down? Are you in the gym for like 3 hours at a time? Nothing like that. We relatively spend about an hour to an hour and a half if we're considering taking in warm-ups and all that.
I would say top 2.
Top 2, and that's if we're moving slow.
Yeah.
If we're bringing up some content for the channel for the week. But we relatively stay at about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We train every muscle group. But what we do that makes our time most effective, we squat, we deadlift, we overhead press, we bench, and we do pull-ups. Mainly those movements are kind of our staple movements in our workout routine. Reason why, it just gives us the most bang for our buck. When we used to do, I know a couple years back, we used to train 5 to 6 times a week consistently, and it was the chest day, back day, arm day, shoulder day, leg day, calf day. Like it was literally, you just go and hammer that muscle and beat the shit out of it for a full hour and a half or so, or full hour, and don't get to train it till the next time. You do like, I don't know how many sets, like, you know, I would say about 12 sets per that muscle group a day. Now the difference between what we're doing now, we're just breaking down those, let's say chest, we do 12 sets of chest on chest day. Instead of doing all those sets on one day, we're gonna go ahead and break down, do 4 sets on Monday, 4 sets on Wednesday, and 4 sets on Friday. There we go ahead and do the same amount of volume for the chest, but we're hitting it every other day with a little bit less intensity, but just applying a lot more frequency. And overall, that keeps us balanced. We're not waking up sore out of our minds. We train with relatively good intensity, leaving always one in the tank, and that's what keeps us, that gives us the ability to train very often and hitting those big lifts. We squat relatively every other day, at least twice a week. We deadlift twice or 3 times a week, depending on how the week's set up and what we're feeling like doing. But that's kind of like how we break down those big movements, because like I said, if you don't have that much time, make it the most effective workout you can. It doesn't mean go ham and bust your ass to the point that you're throwing up in the gym, but train smart. Do the workouts that are actually going to do the most for you.
Yep, just be efficient.
Be efficient, basically. Yep, be efficient as possible. That's the only way that you're gonna, you know, be able to go at least 2 to 3 times a week. We're actually gonna demonstrate on the Instagram channel. We're gonna go ahead and put that in. And that way you guys can check out the form. If you have questions on how to perform these lifts, we're going to go ahead and break all that information down on the Instagram, Nxtlvl Health, so you guys can take a look and how to apply that. Yeah, just keeping those big movements in your workout. If you can do at least twice a week, it's something, and you're getting the most bang for your buck, versus if you had to do a 5-day split a week. That's just, if you don't have the time, you miss one day, you already throw the whole week off. So I mean, that's basically where we're at with training wise.
Yeah, definitely make sure you guys are following us on Instagram if you guys are following and doing the 90-day shred challenge with us, because that's where we're going to be putting more of our like instructional workout videos.
More check-ins. We'll probably do mainly daily check-ins. We'll probably cover more in-depth topics on the Instagram page. That
way you guys don't have to like always, you know, rush to the channel, look and scroll. Everything's gonna be on there for you guys. Yeah, so yeah,
our Instagram names, our, you know, Instagrams are gonna be down below, so just make sure to follow us all, and, you know, have different kinds of content on there.
The next following weeks, we want to go ahead and cover obviously our progress, how we're doing, and we're going to go ahead and cover different topics, maybe go more in depth, and then obviously the Instagram will be to kind of collaborate with you guys and kind of talk, and basically whatever you guys want to see in the future for future videos. We already have mapped out kind of where we're going to break this down for you guys, not oversaturate you with too much information, but just to make this, you know, a learning process for you guys, and watch us go and apply everything that we're going ahead and talking. Maybe you guys can take away some tips here. If you have any questions from the stuff that you have seen on today's video, go ahead and shoot us a message on the video or on our Instagram pages. Feel free to message us and let us know. Well, I think that kind of wraps up everything for the week. We'll go ahead and tune in next week drop another video, see what we're doing. We'll go ahead and cover another topic for you guys and break it down. I hope this information was helpful for you guys. If it was, give it a like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, boys.
Thank you guys.
Oh.
It's been fun. See you guys next week.
All right, do this.